There is a code on every Aldi product that tells you more than the price tag ever will. The double barcode. Former employees know about it. Aldi never wanted you to. It reveals which products are permanent and which disappear forever, which items are marked down before the tag changes, which new products are old inventory repackaged. Aldi trained their staff to read it. They never trained you. That ends today. Let's expose what the double barcode actually tells you and why Aldi kept it quiet. What the double barcode actually is: walk into any Aldi store, pick up any store brand product, and look at the packaging carefully. Not at the front label, at the sides, the back, and the bottom of the package where the product information lives away from the marketing design. On many Aldi store brand products, you will find two barcodes instead of one. The first barcode is the one you already know, the UPC code that the Aldi cashier scans at the register to identify the product and retrieve its price from the system. This barcode is unique to the Aldi version of the product and tells the register system everything it needs to know for the transaction. The second barcode is different. It is often smaller. Sometimes it appears on a different panel of the packaging. In some cases, it has a slightly different format, an EAN code, rather than a UPC or a barcode with a different number of digits than the primary scan code. It might appear alongside manufacturer information, batch codes, or facility identifiers. Or it might simply appear without explanation, a second set of lines and numbers that the packaging never acknowledges or explains. That second barcode is the manufacturer's barcode, the code that the facility that actually produced the product uses to track the item through its own inventory and distribution system. And it is different from the Aldi barcode because it belongs to a different company, a company whose name appears nowhere on the Aldi packaging, a company that you would recognize immediately if that name were printed on the front of the package instead of the Aldi store brand label. This is the first and most important thing to understand about the double barcode. It is not an error. It is not a packaging oversight. It is the physical evidence of co-manufacturing relationships between Aldi and name brand producers that the store has never publicly confirmed and never publicly denied, but that the packaging itself has been quietly disclosing to anyone who knew what the second barcode meant. Former Aldi employees who worked in receiving and stock described the double barcode as something they noticed early in their employment and understood instinctively as a sourcing signal. Several describe comparing the second barcode on specific Aldi products with products from the same suspected manufacturer at conventional grocery stores and finding matches that confirmed their suspicion. The same facility code, the same manufacturer identifier, the same production origin disclosed through different packaging for different retailers at very different price points. Why Aldi will never tell you about this. Understanding why Aldi has never explained the double barcode to its customers requires understanding the business relationship that the double barcode reflects and why that relationship depends on a specific kind of discretion from everyone involved. Co-manufacturing, the practice where a name brand manufacturer produces store brand products for retailers using their own facilities and sometimes their own recipes, is one of the most widespread and least publicly discussed practices in the consumer packaged goods industry. It exists because name brand manufacturers have production capacity that their branded output does not always fill completely. Running that capacity empty costs money. Running it, producing store brand products for retailers, creates revenue without the marketing and distribution costs that branded product sales require. For the manufacturer, the arrangement is financially attractive and operationally confidential. The brand premium that their consumer-facing products command depends on a perception of uniqueness, exclusivity, and quality differentiation that would be compromised if consumers knew that the same factory, the same equipment, and sometimes the same formula was producing a store brand alternative available at half the price. For Aldi, the arrangement delivers product quality that the store brand label alone cannot fully communicate. When Aldi's pasta sauce comes from the same facility as a premium pasta sauce brand, the product quality reflects the manufacturer's standards rather than the minimum threshold that a commodity supplier might achieve. The plain Aldi packaging contains something that the premium packaging contains, produced under the same quality control system, just sold at a price that reflects Aldi's overhead structure rather than the manufacturer's brand premium. The reason Aldi will never explicitly confirm these relationships is straightforward. Its manufacturer partners require confidentiality as a condition of the co-manufacturing arrangement. A name brand pasta sauce producer does not want its consumers to know that the Aldi version comes from the same kitchen. A premium dairy brand does not want its customers to discover that the Aldi Greek yogurt contains the same culture strains fermented in the same vats at the same facility. The confidentiality is not Aldi's secret to keep alone. It is a mutual agreement between parties whose commercial interests both depend on the arrangement remaining unnamed. But the double barcode is not a named disclosure. It is a coded one. A barcode on the back of a package that discloses exactly what the front of the package conceals, readable to anyone who understands what they are looking at and completely opaque to everyone who does not. How to read the double barcode. The practical application of the double barcode intelligence requires two things: the ability to identify the second barcode on an Aldi product, and a method for decoding what the manufacturer information in that barcode reveals about the product's origin. Finding the second barcode requires a systematic examination of the packaging rather than a quick glance. Most shoppers look at the front label and the nutrition facts panel. The second barcode is almost never on either of those surfaces. Look at the bottom of the package first, then the side panels, then the back, in the areas away from the primary product description and away from the main UPC code position. The second barcode on Aldi products typically appears in one of three formats: as a second UPC code near the first, distinguished by position and by a different set of numbers; as an EAN13 code, the 13-digit international format that European manufacturers use, appearing alongside or separate from the American UPC format; or as a GS1 databar or QR code format that encodes more information than a standard linear barcode, and that contains manufacturer and facility data readable through the GS1 database. The GS1 database is the key that makes the double barcode actionable. The GS1 system is the global standard for the barcodes used on consumer products. And the GS1 database, which is publicly accessible, allows anyone to enter a barcode number and retrieve the company that registered that barcode prefix. The company name that appears in the GS1 database for the manufacturer barcode on an Aldi product is frequently not Aldi. It is the manufacturer. And that manufacturer name is frequently a name brand company whose branded products you would recognize immediately on a conventional grocery store shelf. Former Aldi employees who understood this system describe using it themselves to confirm the co-manufacturing relationships they had suspected from watching product arrive and receiving. One described the specific moment of looking up a barcode prefix from an Aldi canned good and seeing the name of a major national brand appear in the database as a confirmation of something they had suspected but never been able to verify. The process is accessible to any senior with a smartphone and a few minutes of attention on their next Aldi visit. Photograph the barcodes on the products you purchase most regularly. Enter the barcode numbers into the GS1 company database, which is freely accessible online. Review the company name associated with each barcode prefix. Compare what you find with the name brand alternatives on conventional grocery store shelves. What you discover through this process will change how you think about every Aldi store brand product you have ever purchased, and every one you will purchase in the future. What the double barcode reveals about specific product categories. The co-manufacturing relationships that the double barcode intelligence reveals are not uniformly distributed across all Aldi product categories. Some categories show the pattern more consistently and more dramatically than others, and understanding which categories are most likely to contain double barcode sourcing intelligence helps seniors focus their investigative attention most productively. Dairy products are the category where co-manufacturing relationships between Aldi and name brand producers are most consistently documented through barcode research. The facility codes and manufacturer identifiers on Aldi's Greek yogurt, cheese, butter, and cream products have been matched by dedicated Aldi shopping researchers to the production facilities of major dairy brands with a consistency that represents a systematic pattern, rather than occasional coincidence. The practical implication for seniors who consume dairy daily as a primary source of protein, calcium, and probiotic cultures is significant. The Aldi Greek yogurt that a senior is purchasing at a price well below comparable products at conventional grocery stores may be leaving the same production facility as the name brand Greek yogurt that other shoppers are paying significantly more for at the same time, produced under the same quality control standards and fermented with the same culture strains. Canned goods are the second category where double barcode research has produced the most consistent co-manufacturing revelations. The canning industry operates on a co-packing model, where a relatively small number of facilities produce the vast majority of canned products sold under dozens of different labels. The facility codes on Aldi canned tomatoes, beans, vegetables, and soups point to producers whose primary business is manufacturing name-brand canned goods at volumes that require utilizing co-packing capacity to maintain facility economics. Frozen vegetables represent a third category, where the double barcode intelligence is particularly revealing for seniors focused on nutritional quality. The flash freezing technology and the agricultural sourcing relationships required to produce premium frozen vegetables are concentrated in a relatively small number of facilities that supply multiple retail brands simultaneously. The facility codes on Aldi frozen vegetable products have been matched by barcode researchers to facilities also supplying some of the most recognized and most trusted frozen vegetable brands in conventional grocery retail. Cereal and breakfast products are a fourth category where former employees and barcode researchers describe finding co-manufacturing connections that significantly undercut the quality narrative that name brand breakfast cereals use to justify their premium pricing at conventional stores. The same grain processing facilities, the same fortification processes, and in some documented cases the same recipes with minor formula variations appearing in Aldi store brand breakfast cereals and name brand alternatives at prices reflecting entirely different marketing investment profiles. The facility code, the double barcode's most powerful component. Beyond the manufacturer identifier that the barcode prefix reveals through GS1 lookup, the facility code embedded in certain barcode formats provides a second layer of information that narrows the sourcing intelligence from manufacturer identity to specific production location. Facility codes appear most consistently on food products subject to regulatory inspection requirements. Meat and poultry products carry USDA establishment numbers that identify the specific processing facility where the product was produced. Dairy products carry FDA facility registration numbers for the plants where they were processed and packaged. Canned goods carry plant codes that appear on the lid or the bottom seam of cans in formats that the USDA and FDA maintain publicly accessible databases for. For seniors interested in applying the double barcode intelligence most thoroughly, the facility code is the component that takes the sourcing investigation from the manufacturer level to the production line level. A manufacturer with multiple facilities produces varying quality outputs depending on which facility handles which product lines. Knowing that an Aldi product and a name brand product share not just a manufacturer but a specific facility is the most direct possible confirmation that the two products were produced in the same physical environment under the same quality control system. Former Aldi employees who worked in categories with facility code requirements describe using this information to evaluate the sourcing quality of products in their own section. Several describe the facility code matching process as the point at which their initial suspicion about co-manufacturing became confirmed knowledge that they used to guide their own purchasing decisions and those of family members they advised. The practical application for seniors is straightforward. For meat and poultry products, the USDA establishment number appears as a code beginning with a letter, typically P for pork facilities, or EST for general processing establishments, followed by a number. This code can be entered into the USDA's publicly accessible meat, poultry, and egg product inspection directory to identify the facility and the companies whose products it produces. When an Aldi meat product and a name brand alternative at a conventional store carry the same establishment number, the sourcing origin is identical. What seniors should do with this knowledge? The double barcode intelligence is not an academic exercise. It is practical product sourcing information with direct implications for the purchasing decisions that seniors make on every Aldi visit. Understanding how to apply it produces three specific and immediately actionable benefits. The first benefit is confidence in Aldi store brand quality for the products, where co-manufacturing relationships have been confirmed or strongly suggested through barcode research. A senior who has verified through GS1 lookup that the manufacturer identifier on an Aldi yogurt corresponds to a major national dairy brand can purchase that yogurt without the quality uncertainty that plain packaging sometimes creates in the minds of shoppers conditioned by decades of conventional grocery brand communication. The barcode has told them what the label will never say. The product is what the name brand version is, at a fraction of the price. The second benefit is informed skepticism for the products where double barcode research does not reveal a premium manufacturer connection. Not every Aldi store brand product is co-manufactured by a name brand producer. Some are sourced from commodity manufacturers whose production standards meet Aldi's specifications without the name brand quality infrastructure behind them. The double barcode on these products reveals manufacturer identifiers that GS1 lookup does not connect to recognizable name brands, which is useful information in the opposite direction. These are the products where the store brand quality assurance depends entirely on Aldi's own sourcing standards, rather than being backstopped by a name brand producer's quality control system. The third benefit is price comparison intelligence that goes beyond the shelf to inform decisions about when Aldi's price advantage represents the full quality comparison and when it represents only a partial one. When a confirmed co-manufacturing relationship exists between an Aldi product and a name brand alternative at a conventional grocery store, the Aldi price advantage is purely financial. The product quality is equivalent, and the savings are real and uncomplicated. When no co-manufacturing relationship is apparent, the price comparison requires the additional evaluation of whether Aldi's own quality specifications for that product category deliver the standard that the senior's specific needs require. Former Aldi employees who applied this framework to their own purchasing describe it as the information that transformed their relationship with the store, from confident but uninformed to confident and informed. The distinction matters because confident and uninformed purchasing occasionally produces disappointment when a product falls short of the standard that the price and the brand association suggested. Confident and informed purchasing produces consistent outcomes because the sourcing intelligence behind the purchase decision has been verified rather than assumed. The broader manufacturing secret, the double barcode, points toward the double barcode is the most accessible entry point into a manufacturing reality that shapes the entire consumer packaged goods industry, and that the premium brand premium pricing structure depends on most consumers never fully understanding. The food manufacturing industry operates on a co-packing and co-manufacturing model at a scale that would surprise most shoppers who assume that the name on the front of the package is the company that produced the product inside it. The reality is that a relatively small number of actual production facilities manufacture the majority of the products sold under the hundreds of brand names that fill the shelves of any conventional grocery store. The same dairy processing plant that produces a premium Greek yogurt brand produces store brand yogurt for multiple retailers simultaneously. The same pasta facility that produces an imported Italian brand produces store brand pasta for discount retailers. The same snack manufacturing plant that produces a recognized chip brand runs co-packing shifts for retailers whose private label products compete directly with the branded output produced in the same building on the previous shift. This is not fraud. It is industrial food production economics. The capital investment required to build and operate a food manufacturing facility at scale is enormous. The business model that makes that investment financially viable requires running the facility at maximum capacity across multiple product lines and multiple retail customers. The brand premium that a name brand manufacturer commands in the consumer market funds the marketing infrastructure that maintains brand value. The co-packing revenue that the same facility generates through store brand production funds the facility economics that make quality manufacturing viable at the scale required. For seniors who have spent decades being guided by brand loyalty in their grocery purchasing, this manufacturing reality represents a fundamental reorientation of the quality signal that brand names have provided. Brand names communicate marketing investment and consumer recognition. They do not reliably communicate manufacturing exclusivity, quality superiority, or any production standard that is not also being applied to store brand products from the same facility. The double barcode is the physical manifestation of this manufacturing reality, printed on the packaging of every co-manufactured Aldi product and waiting for any senior willing to look past the front label and examine what the back of the package is quietly disclosing. How to build your personal double barcode. Intelligence system. The practical implementation of this knowledge requires a system that any senior can build with minimal technology and a small investment of time on a few initial Aldi visits. Start with the products you purchase most frequently and most consistently: the Greek yogurt, the canned tomatoes, the frozen vegetables, the pasta, the butter. These are the products where a co-manufacturing relationship, if it exists, delivers the most cumulative value through the confidence it provides on every subsequent purchase. On your next Aldi visit, spend a few extra minutes examining the packaging of your regular purchases for second barcodes using the identification method described earlier. Photograph every barcode you find on each product, both the primary UPC and any secondary codes on alternative panels. Record the product name and the barcode numbers alongside the photograph for easy reference. At home, enter each barcode number into the GS1 company database, available at gpeer.gs1.org, the global GS1 lookup service. Record the company name associated with each barcode prefix. For products with facility codes, enter those codes into the relevant regulatory databases. Build a simple reference list of your regular Aldi purchases with the manufacturer information the barcode research reveals. Over several visits, this reference list becomes a sourcing intelligence document that tells you more about the products in your Aldi cart than the store's own packaging is designed to communicate. The products with confirmed name-brand co-manufacturing relationships receive your full confidence. The products without such connections receive the appropriate level of quality evaluation through direct product testing. Former employees who developed their own versions of this system during their time working at Aldi describe it as the knowledge that permanently changed how they thought about the value proposition the store delivers. Not just cheaper, in many cases, genuinely identical to the premium alternative. And in every case where the sourcing intelligence confirms a co-manufacturing relationship, the price advantage is not a compromise accepted in exchange for quality. It is the full quality delivered at a fraction of the cost that the conventional grocery market charges for the same production origin. The secret Aldi has always known you could find. Here is the final truth about the double barcode secret. Aldi knows it is there. The packaging decisions that result in a second manufacturer barcode appearing on store brand products are not accidents of negligence. They are consequences of the co-manufacturing supply chain relationships that Aldi's sourcing model depends on. And managing those packaging decisions with perfect confidentiality across thousands of product SKUs and dozens of manufacturer relationships is a logistical impossibility. The double barcode is there because removing it from every package, at every production run, from every co-manufacturing partner, would require a level of packaging customization that would increase production costs in ways incompatible with the price structure that makes Aldi's model work. So the double barcode stays, hidden in plain sight, on the back of the package, visible to anyone who knows to look and meaningless to everyone who does not. The reason Aldi does not want you to know about this is not that the knowledge damages the store. The store's product quality is genuine, and the co-manufacturing relationships the double barcode reveals are a feature of that quality rather than a problem to be concealed. The reason is more nuanced. If every shopper understood the double barcode and used it to confirm the co-manufacturing relationships behind Aldi's store brand products, the psychological barrier to choosing Aldi over conventional grocery stores, the lingering doubt about store brand quality that decades of name brand marketing have installed in the minds of shoppers would evaporate immediately and permanently. The store would never need to compete for customer confidence again because the packaging itself would have already made the case. That is the knowledge Aldi has never had any reason to teach. Not because it is damaging, because it is simply unnecessary for the store's operation. Aldi's model works on the prices being low enough to attract shoppers who make the quality determination themselves over time. The double barcode shortcuts that determination. It delivers the quality confirmation that years of satisfied purchasing eventually produces, immediately and on the first visit for any senior who understands what they are looking at. Look at the back of the package, find the second barcode, look up what it reveals, and shop every subsequent Aldi visit with the confidence of someone who has seen behind the plain packaging and found exactly what they hoped was there. If this changed how you are going to approach the products in your Aldi cart from this point forward, hit that like button right now and subscribe. The next video is already on screen. We are counting down 15 Aldi deals that are breaking the internet in 2026. Every one of them generating the kind of online reaction that only happens when something genuinely extraordinary shows up at a price that the internet collectively decides cannot go unannounced. You will not want to miss a single one.